My name is Radhika Bhagat, and I'm from PDSVISION, North America, and this is a webinar on Windchill MPMLink. So we will start with our objective today. So our objective is to review and demonstrate Windchill MPMLink functionality. We will start with a short introduction, where we will tell you who we are as Boundary System. The next will be our topic overview. What are we going to cover in this webinar today? And then we will have a demonstration on the Windchill mBOM to mBOM transformation using MPMLink. And then we can have question and answers if we have. Let's go ahead. Now, my name is Radhika Bhagat. I am 8 years of experience in PTC products. And I am Windchill certified implementer. So our name is PDSVISION. As you can see in the below graph, in 2018, PDSVISION acquired Boundary Systems. So we were formerly known as Boundary Systems. The right side of the map shows a presence of PDSVISION wherever we have presence all over the globe. We are first PTC global reseller and preferred services provider, and also we develop solutions, software solutions for design and manufacturing. And then our capabilities include consulting, implementation services, professional training, cloud, and help desk. So this is a slide showing who are our partners, strategic partners and solutions. We start with PTC, and then we have Tacton, Moldex 3D, Xformation, Itraj, SigmaSim, ZWCAD, Keyshot, ITI, and Symmetric. So these are some of the partners. So let's come to our topic. Today we have webinar on PTC Windchill's MPMLink module. So what is PTC Windchill MPMLink module? Now this is this module gives us a feature of transforming our e-bill of material. That means our design BOM, which is generated from our CAD inside Windchill, to its equivalent manufacturing bill of material. So which will be our mBOM that we will be referring to in this webinar. The other feature that MPMLink gives is, apart from transforming this eBOM to mBOM, it also helps us to generate a process plan. So we can have a planned step which will include all the information necessary to manufacture that particular mBOM that we will be generating. So this is called as a process plan in terms of Windchill MPMLink. We will be creating a so MPMLink gives us a possibility to create the process plan, and after that, each and every process plan has its own work instruction. So which is an electronic work instruction, and it is automatically generated. So once you have set up all the steps, all the information necessary, we can automatically generate an electronic work instruction in Windchill. The next is what do we have in our webinar content? So the first part is, as we said, is the BOM transformation. That is transforming our engineering bill of material to a manufacturing bill of material. And the next part will be manufacturing the process planning. So where we will be creating the process plan. Okay. So let's start with a demo on my system. Let me share you my system. Now, we will be having a demo today. I will start from the CAD model. I have a CAD model in my system already present. it is a ship assembly, and we will see how we will be generating the mBOM from this eBOM of this particular CAD model. So let's start. Sorry, let's start from the products. Now, to start with, I have an assembly here. We have the representation of that assembly CAD model. If you go to the structure, yeah, we have the parts of the assembly, the entire multi-level CAD structure of that particular assembly. Now, when I have checked in this particular CAD assembly in Windchill, I have its eBOM generated automatically because I did a auto associate of parts with that. So let's go to the eBOM now. This is what we are looking at right now in Windchill is the design BOM. That means the e-bill of material. If you see the name, number, name, version, and the view is design. So whenever it is design, in terms of Windchill, design is always the e-bill of material because it's the automatically generated or it's directly related to our CAD model. Now, when we will be manufacturing this particular design bomb, this particular assembly, say assembly, in any manufacturing plant, we cannot always consider this particular structure. Let's go to the structure of this part. We cannot directly take structure of this and get its information and start manufacturing over there. We need to start planning how to do this. Before that, we need to make sure that this particular eBOM has all its manufacturing related information present with it, such as whether it is having its exact raw materials to it, whether it has related process steps allocated to that. So all the planning is done using Windchill MPMLink. To start with, let me show you how we differentiate between an eBOM to mBOM first. Okay, so in Windchill MPMLink, we have a feature that is, if you go to actions and in open in, there is an option over here which says open in BOM transformer. Now for Windchill 12, I'm not sure how many people are using on Windchill 12 or Windchill 11, but on Windchill 11 it will look like planning, something like that. It's a huge name here. It's called Maps B browser. In Windchill 12, we've just changed the name to open in BOM transformer. So let's open this particular design assembly in that particular page and see how we can transform this e-bill of material to a manufacturing bill of material. So let's open it. Okay, so what we are looking at right now is the left hand side is the design BOM, that is the e-bill of material, and the right hand side is the manufacturing bill of material. Now you will say how this came automatically. No, I had created some of the data already for this particular demo. However, I have created it partially, not completely. So during the demo, we will one by one complete that particular material. Before moving ahead, as I told you, we always start with the filter here. If we are looking at a BOM transformer window, this particular eBOM is always represented with a design view, and mBOM is always represented with a manufacturing view. Now, before moving ahead, I'll show you what are the options present here. Let's start over here. So let's start with the options from here. So here some of the actions over here will help you to add new multiple parts or new single part in this particular assembly. So you can work on your structure from this particular browser itself. For example, similarly, same you can do from the M bill of material also, because which will help you to add more manufacturing components necessary to your E bill of material or M bill of material. So this is like adding, inserting new. Then inserting made from is for usually for raw material. So we usually add it on this side of the page for the mBOM. So it's like insert made from will help us to add raw material. Then let's go to the other options. So this particular action gives us an idea of how you can check out and check in. This is the basic checkout check-in options available for this particular structure. Then we have cut, copy, paste option here. You can restructure your M bill of material with the help of the cut, copy, paste option, or even drag and drop. And the viewing option over here, it helps us to view specific data related to the M bill of material. So for example, if my M bill of material has some manufacturing related data, which we will be building through the webinar, you can view this from this particular action, show hide related information. It will give you, say, for example, the extended data, the made from information, etc. Similarly, sorry, we have other information such as the new downstream branch, new downstream part. These are the actions which are used to create a manufacturing bill of material. I'll show you that. And then we have this filter option. So you can apply the path filter to view a particular information on that particular structure. So example, if I go to visualization here, so visualization tab, to let me tell you, it helps us to see the related CAD assembly of our EBOM and mBOM at the same time. Okay, this works with the Creo, and it also helps you open this particular visualization again in Creo view also. So we were looking at the apply path filter. So if I want to look at this particular part of this particular assembly only, and if I want to zoom into it, so I can apply path filter to it. So I just have to select on it and say apply path filter. So this will help me to view that particular component more in detail. Okay, you can again disable it. Okay, let's go to the other options. So we have again update downstream equivalent part. These will help you to update the information from EBOM to mBOM, and then this is the refresh button. Okay, let's come down here. For each of the structure, we can look at the attributes of each and every component in it. So if I'm looking at the radar part over here, I can look at all its attribute here, the name, number, the state, etc. Then you go to the uses tab. This particular tab is basically the same uses tab which we have on the structure of the browser of Windchill. So it will help you to manage all the usage link or the child components of that particular assembly. Then the made from association, it helps us to add raw materials. Then the next is visualization. Visualization helps us to have a visual view of that particular CAD assembly for EBOM or mBOM. The same tabs are available both on the left hand side and right hand side. Then let's go to the equivalent part. Now this is one of the most important things here. Equivalent part meaning what? When I create a M bill of material for my E bill of material. So when I have a manufacturing view of this particular product one, okay, there we have a associativity maintained here by Windchill automatically. So when I had created this particular mBOM, you will see that there will be an equivalence association created, which is called as the equivalent link. And that is why in this particular tab, you will come to know that for this particular 760 product1.asm design, we have a downstream equivalent object, which is called as product1.asm, which is in manufacturing view. Similarly, for its manufacturing view, if I click on it, I will come to know that it's equivalent upstream. So upstream is always the design view, and downstream is always the manufacturing view. So its equivalent upstream is again the design view here. So basically, it will also show you for each and every component here. If I click on the radar here, radar part, you will see there is a manufacturing equivalent of that radar part, which is a downstream equivalent. So if I click on it, I will come to know the radar is here. That's basically tab which helps us to maintain the associativity and view it. Next is the equivalence occurrences. This is again the occurrences. If you have multiple quantities for components, they can be maintained. Their equivalence can be maintained, and their occurrences can be maintained with this in this occurrence tab. The documentation. Now this is for having the describe by document or reference document for each and every component here, or even the mBOM over here. So you can come over here and allocate any, insert any new describe by document. If you come over here, mBOM, you can also allocate a, say, any specification document for this particular mBOM. So they will be specific to those view only. If I add any document on this side, it will not affect anything on the left hand side. Next is process plan. Now process plan is where we will be creating a process plan for our bill of material. I've already created one. I'll show you how we create it. Then the plant is where we can allocate a plant object. Now in MPMLink, it gives us the ability to create a plant object which will represent any manufacturing plant inside Windchill. Then the department data, it's more something related to inventory data as such from the ERP side. Then we have alternate BOM. Alternate BOM, okay, yeah. When it comes to alternate BOM, we can have multiple alternate BOM for one particular view. Say, for example, if I want to create another manufacturing mBOM, another BOM, which will represent something specific to any specific plant, we can have alternate BOMs created with this tab. And then lastly, the control characteristics, some information related to, some geometric informations related to the components are added over here. So let's see all the options, some of the options from this side. To start with, we have say detect discrepancies. Now this option will help you detect changes, differences between EBOM and mBOM. Similarly, resolve, if I hover on this option, you can see it says review and resolve discrepancies. So that option again will help you to review and resolve, as in it will also automatically help you to update any removed, say for example, there's some component which is removed from EBOM, it will help you to automatically update it in mBOM also. So again, update status indicator. So this is more from the status here. I'll come to this point. And say reconciliation assistance. Say for example, if I click on this, this is again detecting the changes between two BOMs. As I said, I've already created the mBOM partially. So there are differences between these two bill of material. So if we want to see those changes, there is an option over here which says compare structures. Now, if I go to compare structures, say for example, I want to see all the changes, and if I search on it, you will see that there are all these particular parts, and it will say that these are like, these do not have any equivalent object. That means there is no equivalent bill of material or mBOM for those particular components yet created, because you have not yet created the differences. And then again, there are options over here to create equivalence link. Now, this is the same link which I was showing in this tab over here. Okay, so if we have to create, now these links are created automatically, but if you have any component which is directly added in the mBOM and it's not related to the EBOM yet, but then you can maintain that associativity, or you can create it by yourself using this particular action over here, which says create equivalence link. So this is equivalence usage link again. Okay, now let's see how we have generated, how I have generated the mBOM. Let's go to the top level. Let me click on this. And I will take you to the visualization first. So a visualization tab helps us to generate the bill of material more conveniently, right? Because you are looking at the model, right? And at the same time, you know that there are differences in it. Now, since I've partially created, you will see that this particular part over here, the jet assembly part, is not yet allocated in this bill of material. So the visualization helps you to work more conveniently and efficiently. Again, in visualization tab, let me show you some of the features here one by one. So now we are looking at this particular assembly. It's a particular geometric view with which we can see, but you can also change this view. Say for example, if I say bottom, it will change the view of that. But let me open this here. So it can change the view of that particular assembly. So this particular, I think this is called orientation. Yeah, this is called as orientation, which helps you to change the view of the assembly. Then we have an let me open it to this, yeah, to the basic view. Then we have the option over here which says automatically select from structure to visualization and vice versa. That means automatically select from visualization to structure. Sorry. Now what these options say is that when I am looking at this particular CAD assembly, if I click on this particular hull over here, I need to see which is the part, WT part, which represents that. So if I click on it, the part is automatically highlighted in the structure. Let me do it again. So if I click on it, you see that the part is automatically highlighted in the structure. Similarly, you can do it for other parts also, from the structure to the visualization. So if I want to look at this radar here, it is automatically updated. You see it is updated in green color inside the assembly. So those are basic few of the functionality of the visualization. Again, there is hide selected and show only selected. These options will help you to hide this particular, say for example, if I click on it and I say hide selected, it will help me to hide that particular part from this assembly. And let me show all and go back to the view. So let's start with our basic function now, which is the way, which is the first point of creating M bill of material. How have I created this M bill of material? So whenever we have design BOM present here, I right click on it and I say new downstream branch. Okay, and when I do this, I have these options available, which to start with, the first option is downstream view. So it will help me to create a view for that particular mBOM. So we are selecting manufacturing by default, which is a OTB default. Then BOMs, downstream BOM type. Now these are the options which you can select to create alternates of that particular manufacturing view, which will go in the alternate BOM tab over here. You can see them over there. Similarly, again, this alternate BOM 1, 2, 3, 4 are used to create alternates for manufacturing costing. Say, for example, manufacturing costing, I need multiple alternates. So these two options are used for that. The next is new downstream definition. I will come back to this. These are disabled right now. While doing it, I'll come back to this now. But this is how I've created the top level node. Let me complete the rest of the components and then I'll explain you everything more in detail. So before that, whenever we create a equivalent mBOM for the eBOM, you see the status over here, it comes in green. So you see a green tick mark here, which says that equivalent part exists and points to the latest iteration. So this green tick mark says that the associativity is there and there is a equivalent part. But if you have this yellow colored triangle, it will say that the equivalent part does not exist. That means I have not yet created any manufacturing part for those particular components or the sub-assemblies. So let's start with that, the basic action. So what I'm going to do is, another option to create M bill of material is where we right click on this and we select copy. Okay. Now if I come to my manufacturing bill of material, my valve pulse jet engine assembly is directly present below my main assembly. So let's go here and select that main assembly first, and then right click and we say paste as new branch. Whenever we say new branch, it gives us a possibility to have a new view version of that particular part. So this is how I've also created the parent node. Now these options are enabled now. As I told you already, this is for selecting the view. Let's come to the child structure options. Now this particular pulse jet engine assembly, right? It is an assembly, okay? So that is why it gives you the options to select the child structure in a way you want it. So it may happen that you want to create only the top node and then allocate all the child parts one by one later on. So you can just select do not duplicate. In that case, what will happen is you will only have the top node created and there will be no structure below that. So I will only have valved pulse jet engine .asm, which will be in manufacturing view, but there will be no structure below it. However, if you want to also propagate the child components along with it, then you have to select duplicate with propagating. So if I say duplicate with propagating, when I paste it, all the child components below that engine assembly will also be created in manufacturing view. So this option helps us to create everything in manufacturing. And then the third option is without propagating. That means in some cases, if you want to keep the child components still in design, but the top node in manufacturing. So in that case, we select duplicate without propagating. Okay. So for our demo, I will be selecting duplicate with propagating. And you see the downstream context, it came automatically. This is the name of the product. This is the location of a product, and then you see the selected part here. Selected upstream part is in design view, and then let's recalculate. Okay, and let's select on OK, and we will see that the valve pulse jet engine assembly will have its manufacturing view created here. With its, we are selecting duplicate with propagating, so it will also have its structure over there. So let me click OK now. See, let's see, yeah. So you see 762, this particular part is highlighted in blue color, and that means we just now created that. And after creation, you will see that the green tick mark is also there. And you must have observed that in the visualization also, the visualization is also automatically updated, and we have the engine assembly, the jet engine assembly allocated to the visualization at the same time. So if I click on jet part here or jet part 2, they will be, let me zoom in and show you, they will be present in this. So this is jet part, yeah, 6, this one. It will show you this part here. Similarly, this one. So everything came up in visualization also when we did a copy paste of it. I mean, when we created a envelope material of it. Oh, let me adjust this view. Okay. Yeah. And you can see all the child components are also allocated here. And at the same time, in the mBOM, all paths are allocated, and that's why it is showing us a green tick mark. Okay. Now there are still 2 more remaining. Let me add them one by one. There are these 2, which is spacer one part and this second part. If you see in the entire assembly, this is a multi-level assembly. Let's see if the multi-level parts are also there. So this particular jet part 6 should also have its child components, right? So everything is created all at once with one action. Now the next thing is we need to update the remaining parts here. These 2 are remaining, let's add them also automatically, or let's copy them first. So I right click on it again, This is 763, and I go over here, right click, paste as new branch. That means it will be created in manufacturing. Okay, and you can see now the child structure option is disabled for me. It's not showing anything because this particular spacer part does not have any structure below that. So that is why it's showing it's disabled. So it will simply just create one top level, one particular component over there in manufacturing. Let's click OK now. Yeah, you see this is created, and at the same time in the visualization you will see in green color it is highlighted. The visualization also gets highlighted with the new things. Let's do the same thing for the remaining one. This is like the holder for those assemblies. So they are not yet present here in the visualization. This time you can look at the visualization. Let me again copy this and complete our M bill of material now. Let me go to our top node, right click. Now the visualization, there's nothing here. I right click on the top node, new downstream branch. As there are no downstream, okay, let me refresh this. Sometimes you get these errors. I'll just refresh that. Let me copy it again and right click, paste as new branch. Sorry, it is paste as new branch. So again, click OK. Visualization is also updated. So our mBOM is now complete with all the components from E bill of material till here to the M bill of material. Now this is part of transformation of EBOM to mBOM. Okay. Next thing that another option which I would like to show is the made from. For example, let's go to that tab here which is made from. So made from means let's go to one of the mounting plate. Let's see, this is to allocate a raw material. Before that, let me check in my changes to this particular assembly. I don't know what is the, I just checked in. Let's check in everything all at once. Check in. I will undo checkout. We did not do anything to that. Let me refresh. Okay, it was showing checked out by mistake. Okay, yeah, so only the top node was checked out, and I'm going to check in that. Now there is an option to allocate a raw material. I have allocated raw material to one of the component. Let me go to that. There is something which says as mounting plate. Okay, let me add it again. If I select everything, so in the view, if there is something already associated, it will show us. Yeah, so yeah, I had allocated a raw material to the hull part. That means I wanted to build this hull in in a specific raw material which I wanted to mention here in the M bill of material. So I created a part which name as, say for example, steel in this case, and I allocated it to the hull part. So what it represents here is, in this particular bomb transformer, that this particular hull is made from this raw material which says steel. Okay, similarly we can do it for, let me do it for any other parts. There's something, mounting plate, let's say we use this mounting plate. So whenever you want to allocate a raw material, you click on that particular component, and there is an option over here with this pencil icon, insert. You click on insert made from. And here I can search for my steel part, you see. So let me use this one. Now this steel is a normal part in Windchill. It's not any other type of any other subpart or any other raw material object. It's just a normal part in Windchill you can maintain as a raw material, and you can associate it to this particular component. So I can click on steel now, and if I click OK, you will see that the steel is, you can see that the raw material is shown here in this particular structure. So this is one way of allocating a raw material. Okay. Now this is part of enrichment of this particular MBOM. Now let's move ahead and see how we can generate process plan for this particular MBOM. So if you see the visualization, the mBOM is completely present with all the components from eBOM to mBOM. Yeah. And if I click on the top node, and if you want to create a process plan on it, we go to, we go to the process plan tab, this one. And from here, if I want to create a process plan on this mBOM, I click on new, insert new option here. Okay. I have already created one over here, this one, ship planning, but I'll show you how I created that just in this wizard. Now this is a wizard where we can allocate a new process plan to our bill of material. It starts with the category. It could be production, maintenance, quality, or repair. Usually we are going with production today. You can give any name to that particular process plan. You can also have any number to it. Now next is the description. Usually in view you can have these design and manufacturing are two the OOTB views, but you can have custom views. However, it's always recommended that most of the MPMLink objects are also always created in manufacturing view. Then the location, unit, and the standard option here. Now this standard option here gives us an ability to create standard procedures. Now standard procedures are a little different from process plan. If we select yes to this, it will create a standard procedure. It will create a process plan, but it will not have any bill of material, mBOM associated with that. So it will be like a standard set of rules which you can generate and keep it present inside your system, and they can be reused inside as many process plan as you want. So they are like standard steps which you can maintain inside your system. They are not specific to any one particular bill of material. Now I have used this option as no, because I just want to create a process plan for my mBOM. And the last option is occurrence allocation from any level. Now occurrence allocation from any level, I have selected yes. Now why have I selected yes? Because if I have a multi-level, for example, multi-level mBOM, okay, I should also be able to allocate the second level or the third level component. Okay, so this particular option, if it is selected as yes, then only you will be able to allocate the third level, fourth level, or the multi-level objects inside mBOM. So I just selected yes. Let me cancel this. This is how I've created this ship planning process plan object. Let me open this and let us go to our process plan object now. If we open a process plan in Windchill inside the browser, this is how it looks like. It starts with number, name, the view, it's manufacturing, the production is the category that we selected. Then it has, by default, it is the process plan quantity here, the standard which we have selected as no, occurrence allocation, that attribute, and then the basic attributes such as the context, the date created and created by user. Now let's go to the structure tab, the structure browser. Now this is the main browser where we actually work on our process plan. Okay. Uh, to start with, let me show you some of the options here. I have already created this process plan with some data in it. We will complete the data for the jet engine assembly later on. So up till now, we have a process plan. We have, let me collapse this. We have 4 to 5 operations in it, 5 to 6 operation, I think. Yeah, more than that. Yeah. So I've created few operations in it. Then each and every operation has paths allocated to that, and there are also some resources allocated to that. So let's start from the structure tab here. I'll explain you some of the things here, such as editing. We can insert new, say for example, you can insert operations with this help, with the help of this option inside the process plan. You can edit. Then this is checkout check-in option. This is viewing. Now this viewing option over here, it helps you to generate representations for our work instructions. Then again, then we have filter here. Then we have this tree picker. Now tree picker is very convenient way of allocating paths or resources or plans or anything to your process plan. So for example, if I want to see what is the mBOM allocated on which we have created these process plans, I should be able to see that with this open related part. So if I click on open related part, I know this is the mBOM, M bill of material, and for which I've created this particular, you see, it's manufacturing, everything is manufacturing. So this is the same mBOM that was shown in this page over here on the right hand side. So if I close this now, let me close this. This is how you can see the allocated, the associated M bill of material. Then the other, this is open tree picker. This is basically, it will help you to open different objects such as the plants, the resources, etc. And then you can load them one by one in operations from here, which we will be doing it. After that, let me go through all these tabs one by one. I'll explain you one by one. This is the attributes tab. Again, if I am selecting or I am looking at my process plan, these are the attributes present for that. I also have the ability to allocate documents to my process plan. Also, the visualization of my process plan. So as and when I keep adding data in this process plan, the visualization again gets updated. Work center allocation is where you can allocate a plant for that particular process plan. Now coming back to the uses for a process plan, we have created these particular operations, right? Setting up hull, adding mounting plan. Now these are the operations. How have I created them? You right click on it, editing, and we select insert operations. I will be doing that. I have done that, and I've allocated these many operations. So edit, insert operations, and you can give any number of operations, say 7 or 8. And when you click OK, you will have this list generated here. So that is why in the uses tab of our process plan, you are able to see all these operations here. And I have given some long description to each and every operation that I've created. Okay. Again, then part allocation. Now part allocation tab is for operations again. So if I'm looking at setting up hull operation, I have allocated this hull part to it, right? So which is the first installation part of my assembly. So that is why in the part allocation table, I am able to see the hull over here. Again, the processing resources, you see that I have allocated a skill over here. Now this is the resources. How do we create resources for operations? Now, a process plan is a set of operations, right? So I have setting up hull as an operation. Now for this particular operation, if I need certain set of resources such as inspection, tooling, etc., I can associate them using this processing resources tab. And how do I create them or allocate them? There is an option over here, plus allocate resources, and here I can search any resources and allocate them. However, before going over there, let me show you how we create the resources. Let me go to the product structure. Now in actions, there is an option new resource. Okay. Now this new resource option helps us to create a skill, any resource of type skill or tooling. You can create a work center. You can have process material such as a coolant or something with the help of this particular new resource. So for example, if I've selected skill, it will give you the category to have inspector, mechanist, technician, etc. This is how we allocate resources, and I've already allocated some of them. I created them and allocated to these particular operations. Again, the next is the control characteristics. Then the standard procedures. You can include standard procedures which are already present in your system in this process plan. Now let's quickly go ahead and complete our process plan. Before that, let me show you that I've already show you the work instruction which is generated for this particular process plan up till now. So this is how a work instruction looks like. I'll go more in detail of this afterwards. So it basically starts with the work instruction, the process plan name. Now a work instruction is a dynamically generated HTML page. Okay, and this is always, there's always a work instruction for this particular process plan, for any process plan in the system. It will show you set of all the operations. Say for example, starting with the setting up hull. This is our operation that we have created. So if I go back here, I have setting up hull operation for which I had given this long description, and also you will get all that also in the work instruction. This is annotation. These are representations generated for each and every operations which we save as annotation, which I will be showing you. So these are like the pictorial representation of the steps that will be involved in manufacturing our bill of material. Then one by one, if you go down for each and every operation, I've already generated some of the data. You see what part is allocated. This is the mounting plate. You see allocated part as mounting plate.prt. It is having the number over there, the version, and the assembly context and all that. So also you can see the resources that we have added in our operation, and you can also see some of the operations have assembly line here. So this operation, first one, it had this assembly line one, right? So you can also see which assembly line this operation will be performed. So these are the information present on this work instruction. Let's go and complete our last operation, which is jet engine assembly. If I go to the visualization, okay, let's select the ship planning, open related part. And when I open that part, there is an option over here, display part allocation status. So it will show you what all parts are yet to be allocated to the process plan, right? And you can also see that in the visualization. These are some of the parts which are still yet to be allocated over there. So let me quickly add one of the part, this jet engine assembly here. If I have selected on it, I want to go down and see where it is present. Okay. Yeah, this is it. So let's select this. Yeah, let's select everything from this engine assembly. So I'm going to select this particular part, start with this, say for example, yeah, jet part, and I'm going to allocate to my operation here. So you have to just drag and drop that particular part to this jet engine assembly. And you can see the visualization is also updated now. We have the part of the jet engine. Let's select the other one, the other part. This is jet part. I will also drag and drop that inside my operation here. See, we have the operation allocated. And at the same time, you see the allocation status is also getting updated here one by one. And if I refresh, it will be 100% after that. Yeah, it is now 100%. There are some things still remaining, such as this one. Let's allocate everything below that particular just engine assembly. Let me, yeah, get this done. So I have this. You can select all at once. So I'm going to select all at once, whatever are remaining below that particular assembly. So let's select this. I'm just trying to see which is 0%. I'm selecting them and just drag and drop that under the jet engine assembly. And it should be updated in the, it's also updated. It's showing in green color now. If I zoom in, I should be able to see that. Okay. So the visualization also gets updated at the same time. What is remaining? Let's see. Let me select this one. I'm going to allocate that also quickly. And I have this part which can also get in here. And it shows green color in it. Again, what is remaining? You can keep updating the status here and see what is still remaining. There are few things. Yeah, what is remaining? So it looks like there are these three options still remaining. Okay, for now I've added all these. And what is this guy? In this particular operation. Meanwhile, you can also allocate some of them in the operation below this. I've also renamed this particular operation to jet engine assembly. How do you rename an operation? Is right click on it, edit, and say rename operation. So now that my engine is parts are allocated, you will see in the part allocation table, this is allocated. And let's quickly allocate the processing resources also. Now let's allocate a assembly line. If I would like to tell you one interesting thing, this particular tree picker in the recent search, you will also have some of the searches you have already done. And let's open this assembly line, which I've already seen before. Now, how have I created this assembly line is again, new resource. Let me open it and show how it looks like. So this is a work center which I've created again with the new resource action. And if you see the structure of this, now we are going to allocate this particular assembly line for that jet engine. And there is one interesting thing about this compatibility where you can mandatorily allocate some skill set to that particular assembly line. So if tomorrow I allocate this particular assembly line to this particular process plans operation, I don't need to remember that I need to add this particular skill set because it is already mandatorily, if you see the compatibility type, it is mandatorily allocated over there. So I'll quickly select this particular assembly line, and when I allocate that assembly line here, you will see that there will be a message shown that the skill set will be automatically updated. So let's drag and drop. This is just an option where it says that there are default some time and cost attributes on that particular work center. So this is the compatibility warning message. It is telling you that this technician we have already allocated as mandatory. I mean, we have already set up certain rules over here that this technician should be already automatically updated. So it is just showing you as a warning, and it will automatically update it. I'll just get the box over here so that you can see that it will be automatically updated here. When I click OK, you see the technician automatically came, but you can exceptionally also allocate it. And if I go down, along with the assembly line, we have the technician also. This is how you can allocate resources. Another thing is, so the last step remaining is that we have allocated our parts, we have allocated our resources. Now we need to generate work instruction for this. How do you generate work instruction for an operation? Let us first check in everything. Now, if I just check in the top node of this process plan, everything below it will be checked in. Okay. Now for this particular, let's go to the visualization again. We have all the jet engine components present over there. Now I am going to generate work instruction for this particular operation. So what we do is we right click on this work instruction and generate work instructions. This is how a work instruction for an operation is generated. You again see the same things. Operation number, name, what all parts we have allocated all these particular parts to our operation. That's why they are coming here. And then we have also the resource name and the assembly line to which we had added, because of which we got the technician automatically present. So, but we don't have the representation here, right? Because we have to generate it with the help of Creo view. So let's close this. I'm going to close everything again. How do we generate a representation? We make use of this viewing option here. So you select the top node, select on this playback action button. You have all these actions now allocated. Okay, so if I go over here and select my operation, you have this option over here which says new representation. So let's generate a default representation for our particular operation which we just created. So I'm going to submit this. Let's see the job monitor. Executing. Let's make sure that it is yes. So now the job is successful and we have a representation generated for our operation, which is jet engine assembly. You see, now once the representation is generated, we have to edit it. So I click on this and go over here, click on default representation. What this will do is it will launch the Creo view and you can edit that representation here in Creo view. So MPMLink works with Creo view, Creo Illustrate, depending on the way you want to have your work instructions representation generated. So I'm going to open that particular operation. So this is the jet engine assembly operation 000101110, and I select everything. The last one, these are all the parts present over there. You see the jet engine assembly is showing over here. In the orientation, let's change the, I've created a custom view here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so this is these are the parts that we just now located. So what I'm going to do is let me give a different color to them. Click on color. Let's select, say, green color. Okay. I have it in green now. You can also say, for example, transform, do some transformation here to indicate something. So say, for example, I'm going to, yeah, just show that it comes on it like this. Okay. The transformation helps you do this. And then, for example, in markup, let me add a note. And I'll say that installing the jet engine assembly, say for something like that. Symbol jet engine. And you can format the text here. I'm going to make it 16. Okay. So this is how this should come on my work instruction. Okay. You can make more, add more details here again. And let me now save this. Save annotation set as. Default. Okay. If I go to the home, I can see that it shows over here in home. That means it's being saved now. Let's close this And now we generate our work instruction again, and we should be able to see that our jet engine assembly should have its representation. So let's stop this since we have already generated that, and I will right click on my work instruction again and say generate work instruction. So if I scroll down, our last operation, which we just now added, we allocated parts, we allocated resources, and we created a visual representation of it. So let's go down and see whether it is there. Yeah. So this is the jet engine assembly. You see, we created that operation. We added parts to it. There is an assembly line too. There is a technician, and now the annotation here again. So this is how you can generate a work instruction for a process plan. This is part of one of the operations we did through the webinar. You can again right click on it, or sorry, just click on it and again open in Creo if you want to add more instructions here or want to add some arrows over there or anything like that. So yeah, this is how our work instruction is generated. Again, this work instruction can also be customized. You can change few things here. You can add your company's logo and many other things. So this is the end of our webinar. Let me go back to my demo PowerPoint. So just finished with my webinar. I hope everyone found it somewhat informative or interesting. Let's go to our last slides. I'll come back to questions. If you have any questions, you can get back to us. If you want to learn more about Windchill 12, we have training, we have on-site training, we have in-center. You can check our website for more information on webinar topics. We have our YouTube channel on which we have different webinars on different topics in Windchill, different skill sets. My name is Radhika Bhagat. You're looking at a picture over there on the left-hand side, and then you have my email ID. You have the sales email ID of PDSVISION.us, and you see that is the PDSVISION.com website, and you also have a YouTube channel showing the webinars and other videos in it. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar. I will wait if anybody have any questions right now. I'm looking at, you can type your questions. I am just looking at it. Thank you. Okay, then I think there doesn't seem to be any other question right now. So we can end this webinar now. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Have a nice rest of the day.